We're always preparing. Baseballs. It was preparing to stream. It was baseball. We're always preparing.
I appreciate the reference.
I don't know that.
Oh,
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, we are.
okay, I call this regular Board of Education meeting to order at 7 p.m. on September 22nd, 2025. Ms. Sully, will you please call the roll?
Jennifer Quigley.
Here.
Chris Hamilton.
Here.
Erica Peterson.
Here.
Jillian Phelps.
Yeah, I'm here.
John Ruggles. Fred Stepstrom.
Here.
And Lisa Booster. Here.
Excellent. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Sully. Do we have any public comments this evening?
We do not.
Excellent. Is there any additional non-action items any member would like to add to the agenda tonight? All right, moving on. Number 6, our action items. A, final reading and adoption of board policies. Is there any further discussion? Anybody would like to have on any of these? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the final reading and adoption of board policies as listed?
Motion to approve the final reading and adoption of board policies as listed in item 6.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, 6B, approval of overnight field trips. We have Springfield, state cross-country meet, Timberley, and a state track meet. Our policies say that the board must approve all overnight field trips. Any questions about any of these or concerns? Is there a motion to approve the overnight field trips as listed?
I'll move to approve the overnight field trips as listed.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Sully, will you please call the roll?
Jennifer Quigley.
Yes.
Chris Hamilton.
Yes.
Erica Peterson.
Yes.
Jillian Phelps.
Yes.
Fred Stepstrom.
Yes,
And Lisa Booster.
Yes.
Motion passed.
thank you. Okay, 6C, approval of proposed IASB Lake Division bylaw changes and slate of officers. Ms. Peterson, our IASB rep, would you like to?
Yeah, sure. So there is the ISB meeting on October 8th, which I think some of us are signed up to go to. And it looks like one thing that we as a board have to decide is they want to amend their articles to include 4 directors at large, and currently there are 2. And so that's going to be a vote that's taken on October 8th. And then in addition, they have the Lake Division has a proposed slate of officers to fill the various roles. And I think I can go through the names. I think we all got the email, so I think everybody has the names. And I don't know if anybody had an objection to any of them. But otherwise, that also will be voted on October 8th. And my understanding is that we as a board get 1 vote. And so I don't know if I think we still have another meeting between now and then, I guess if we needed to discuss.
We don't have another committee of the whole.
Okay.
for that.
So that, I guess, that was the time to discuss it. If anybody has an objection to them going to 4 directors, or if anybody has an objection to any of these candidates, otherwise I think we would be voting yes.
Do we have any insight into the reasoning behind the shift or what they're looking to do?
I think my understanding is that adding the 2 directors at large allows to have more resources without necessarily pigeonholing them into one specific role. There's a lot of work to do and a lot of people who are willing to do it, but sometimes also people can miss meetings. This way it also leaves a little flexibility with their needs. That's why
So we don't have any reason why we might want to vote against it, right?
I don't have it. And there, for the slate of officers, there was a nominating committee that was, their names were listed in the email, and they vetted a lot of these people already. I know a couple of them through my time around, Stephen Mack and Mark Tepper. No complaints for either one. Volunteer a lot, seen around.
I think the more people they have, the more thought you get, you know, more ideas versus. There's only two, I think, having four just opens up discussion and possibilities.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the proposed IASB bylaw changes and slate of officers?
I move to approve the proposed IASB Lake Division bylaw changes and slate of officers.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 6D, our consent agenda. Paying the bills, releasing minutes. Some hires, resignations, terminations. The terminations are all substitutes who did not respond in the affirmative that they wish to remain on the roster. Versus a resignation would be a substitute who responded they no longer wanted to be on the roster. If we get that differentiation, if there are any confusions to that. But any questions or concerns on any of those items? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second, is there?
I'll second.
Ms. Sully, will you please call the roll?
Chris Hamilton,
Yes.
Eric Peterson,
Yes.
Jillian Phelps.
Yes.
Fred Stepstrom,
Yes.
Lisa Booster.
Yep.
And Jennifer Gledhill.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, FOIA requests. Deltec, we just had our waste management revamp and just sharing that information. Future agenda items, any questions on that? Okay. 8, future agenda items, approval, we will have an approval of emergency plan and an audit presentation. Both of those are coming along swimmingly, so I understand. Okay.
Yes, I think the board saw the email that I sent to them complimenting Carly and our staff on how prepared they were for the audit and how detailed, and we got everything they asked for, and we were organized when they showed up, which is great. We're ready for them, and Carly did a great job, so I appreciate that, hearing that and hearing it from an outside source, because I know how hard Carly works, but having that confirmed from other people is great, so kudos to our business office.
Thanks. The audit presentation will be October 27th. And the reason it was a little bit smoother this year than last year is because the auditor started the audit a month earlier this year by our request, which helped us get it done on time. So we'll continue to ask that going forward.
Sounds good. Another future agenda item. Currently, the way our expenses work for the III conference, we are slated $35 for meals per day, which has been that way for a long time. Food cost of eating out has gone up quite a bit. Even something like a breakfast at McDonald's will cost you $15. So given our location, we are looking into instead of like a flat dollar amount, some sort of sliding scale that could adjust it based on where the event is taking place. Part of this also came up when looking at the scholarship that Jen received from IASB for the conference. They give 75 a day for meals. And so that's something more in line with market rates right now. So it's something that we will be chatting about more in the future next month in October, because the conference is in November. Dr. Lind, would you like to make a report?
Yes, I would.
All right.
We had the 24-hour challenge on Friday, which got lightninged out for the first time ever in 24 years. So it was a bummer. A lot of the kids were sad about that. But what I really appreciated was how our parents mobilized so quickly to get the kids out of there. I think the call went home at what time? 8:30? 8:30. Call went home at 8:30. it was pretty much cleared out by 10. And that included a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff, and it's not great for parents. They're either on a date night or out to eat, enjoying a nice evening and planning that. And to come back to school, take down tents. Some people took down tents, not everybody did. But to bring all the food and stuff that was, we know for those of you that have done this now, it's a lot. And they did it, and they did it in a relatively orderly fashion. We set up a checkout system quickly on the fly. People were patient. Yeah, I just so appreciated our parents.
Wonderful.
It was great. That part of it. And I felt bad for the kids and felt bad for the parents too, but for the kids who were looking forward to this for so long, that cut off early was a big bummer. Big bummer, but they handled it relatively well, and not a lot of. What was also good about the 24-hour challenge this year is the cell phones. We did not allow the kids to keep the cell phones on them, and that cut down on the drama during school day and afterwards significantly at night. And there were a few kids at the end who were a little panicked about not being able to contact their parents because they're not used to having immediate access to parents. And we said, hang on, we're fine. We've called your parents. We're not going to leave you here. But when you're a sixth grader and you're new to this, and this might be the first time you're away, there's some anxiety and some tears. I get it. So, but overall, it went very well, and appreciate Jake and team for stepping in, getting it done, making the tough call, and which is never easy with weather, as I know, and so it turned out to be a good call. The other piece of information that I have is I went to a conference today. It's a workshop that I'm going to be doing a series throughout the year. I think there's 4 or 5 meetings throughout the year on AI, artificial intelligence, and generative AI to be specific, and what that can do for the school and the system, and to be aware of it and how to use it productively. So that's going to be a big topic, and is the way the presenter put it, it's already out there. It's kind of like electricity. You can't not address it. You can't go anywhere and say we don't want to use electricity. It's there, and AI is about at that level right now where it's everywhere. Even we might not even know it and we're using it, depending on what apps we're using, how it impacts our life. So to be aware of it, to start to think about it, to put in some guardrails for our teachers and our students is going to be important. How to use it appropriately and effectively is going to be important. And the challenge with a tool like this, which can be so powerful, the more powerful the tool for positive, it can also be a powerful tool for negative. So we have to be very careful about how we are monitoring that with our children, just like with all of our technology. I think we're already at that point where, boy, so many kids are exposed to too early to too much, way too much. We know this. There's lots of books about it. The Anxious Generation. We did that book study last year with some parents and staff, and it's troubling. It is troubling, and this just makes it that much more troubling. But I think it's important for us to address it and do what we can to help our kids use this in a positive way, and to make sure that and it can help us be more productive and help us do more in the world and have those connections. And for me, it's about that human connection. And if I can get the AI to do a little bit more of the grunt work in my world, and I can interact with people more, it's a win. So looking forward to that.
Sounds good. Along the lines with the AI for our Lake Division meeting, this one, the there's usually a keynote speaker. This one isn't on AI, but one of the other fall division meetings near us is, so. If you're interested in going to any of the other divisions, you are welcome to go to them as well. You don't need to be in McHenry to go to theirs, or Cook to go to North Cooks or things like that. So if you see a topic that you like, you're welcome to go. Is there anything else you want? That's it. Ms. Kraft, your business officer report, please.
Nothing other than the audit presentation at the end of October. I'm thinking we may have to do the tax levy presentation at the end of October as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I did forget that I'm going to Springfield this week for the state superintendent conference, so I'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for that. Busy week. Right.
Enjoy.
It's a lot.
Would any board members like to make a report?
I was a parent for the 24-hour challenge for a sixth grader, so it was my husband's and I first time. It was a lot of fun, even though it did get rained out. My kid had the most amazing time. Jake and your team did absolutely fabulous. The communication was great, so it was just a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see for next year. And then when my youngest goes, oh yeah, I'm definitely more prepared of like, okay, this is what we're doing. And then we will have a date night because we won't have any older kids. But no, I thought it went really well. It was a lot of fun to see the kids interacting without a cell phone. It was so like refreshing. Everybody was super nice. And yeah, the parents, I mean, we got to the school, unloaded everything, and then it was just a really smooth thing. So yeah. But kudos, Jake and your team. It was great.
Thanks all, testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just echo the same sentiment. It was well done as always. I even heard unsolicited feedback from some kids that the cell phones being gone were a benefit to them as well. So that they appreciated the ability to really be engaged with the event and not sitting around the tent on the phones. So I know I heard some people who there was some mild anxiety about how to contact people. But certainly the kids that I interacted with were enjoying the lack of technology.
So. The question that I have, not really a question, so. This was something I wasn't quite sure about. Do we add that IASB vote to the agenda, or is it just a discussion item? The way that Lisa Martinez sent out the email, it just wasn't very clear if we should be voting on it or just discussing it in the board. And you could hear arguments for it either way. And I thought back to the past for CEDAW, whereas I've never, for any of any of those meetings, brought all the issues on the agenda there before the board. So it's something we can, I don't think we need to vote on it, but maybe in our board agreement that we can add an addendum to is if we want to leave those votes just up to our respective rep for it. So for we can trust Ms. Peterson for IASB matters and myself for CEDAW matters. And if anybody sees anything specific that they want to bring out for complete vote by our board beforehand, that is something we can do. Just the procedures and the way we run our meetings allow it to go either way. And it's just what we prefer as a board. So it's something we can discuss at a future date too.
How do we get updates from like the CEDAW meetings?
So I'll get an agenda usually a month in advance because the meetings are only quarterly. And then after the meeting, I can make a report on it. I missed the August meeting, so did not provide a report on that one. And I can forward out the agenda to people as soon as I get it.
I guess that one I would be more interested in just because we're vested there. Just to know what's going on so that we can make informed decisions.
Yes, there will be some bylaw changes coming up for CEDAW that are important to understand why. With 31 districts, it's difficult to manage that. Any change is like moving a glacier. It's impossible. So, but there are funding formula changes that are coming.
That would be important for us to have a discussion about because that will impact us.
Yes, a little bit. The way it turned out, not much, actually, into the good.
Because
Which is
we have
surprising.
some of their programs.
No, even aside from that,
Really?
yeah. Yeah, the housing Think that we can have a different, that's a whole different discussion on the housing formula and how we get revenue from that, because I
We
don't,
can add it on a future item.
yeah, it's a future item, but I do not believe that the current structure is what's best for children. But that's a long ways down the road, and we have to, as an administrative team, before we present something to the board, we want to have more of a structured thought process in mind for how do we provide services for kids in a efficient way financially, that's best for kids. More importantly, what are the best services for kids and what is the best structure? And sometimes the structure can work against what actually is good for kids. And in this case, I believe it does. Not great. Not to say that good things aren't happening and it's not terrible. It's just it could be better for kids, parents, and teachers. When those three things are not clicking well, I don't think we should continue that.
Something to consider.
So then it would be important for us to know what the discussions that are happening at the board level of personnel.
And
It's
with
not,
that-
that's not at the board level, no, that's internal at this point, but it will be.
there's also, and CEDAW has two separate boards, the governing board, which meets quarterly that I attend, and then monthly. There are 4 supers and 4 board members that meets. That's during the workday. So that's on. So building administration is there for that, so. You also get agendas to those, I can forward those out as well.
Thank you.
No problem. We have no closed session this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Have a good evening. Want to do 4 minutes?
You're like.